So welcome to day 3 of our dart manipulation class. So just a continuation from where we stopped. So we'll be treating the pivot method today, which is simply, it's not like the slash and spread. You're not slashing anything. You're still going to retain your working pattern. The only thing is you just move your dart to a certain position that you want. So what you need your tracing wheel, you need a pencil, you need of course the pattern, and also a blank sheet where you can actually transfer. I'm going to get a pin that I'll use for this. So what you do, you locate the apex. Reason why I drew my waist dart to get to this point. So I want to close my waist dart and transfer it to the shoulder using the pivot method. So you look for your apex and insert a pin through it. So what you're going to do, just let's use the midpoint here. Make sure the paper is big enough to accommodate what you want to do. So you just use your pin and then pierce through so that it could hold while you move your patterns. So right now I want to close this part. I want to close this and then move my dart to this point. So watch closely what I will do. So I'll just trace from here. This is A, this is B of the waist dart. So I'm just going to trace this from A to meet that point. I'm going to trace it to meet the point where I want to transfer my dart. So you have to watch closely. So I'm putting it here. This is the point, right? So I will then close this, right? I'll close this dart. So what I'm going to do is just to pivot it to meet here, to meet A. So I'll pivot it to get to A. Remember that your pin has to be in place so it doesn't shift. So right now I'll continue from the same point because it has shifted. I'll continue from the same point, moving towards here and tracing. So I'm moving my waist dart to my shoulder using the pivot method. So right here, I will just trace everything, and my apex point still remains. Now our waist dart is closed completely. It's closed. So what you're just going to do is use your ruler and connect, and then you have your waist dart transferred to this. So remember that when you're tracing, also remember that you have a bust dart that we did not close. So remember we have a bust dart. So we've successfully transferred our waist dart to the shoulder. So this is what you're going to get. So you're seeing that your pattern is still the same. Nothing like that. You're not discarding it. It's still there. But if it's for slash and spread, the pattern will be slashed some way. So we're still going to use the same pattern and transfer the waist dart, right, the mid neckline. So from this you can see you already have a shape, and then if you want to sew this, you know what to do. 0.75 to 1.5. The same thing, come up from the apex, 0.75 to 1.5. Right now, this is the first position that we moved it to, right? So here is the second position. So just watch closely. So this is the second point, the mid neck. So like I said, this is the second point. This is where I want to transfer it to. So I'll get make sure you have a paper that can accommodate whatever you're doing. So I'll just get a pin or anything that can punch through, and then punch through here, right? So when I punch through here, I want to also close this waist dart. So what I'll do, I'll still start from the anti-clockwise manner and trace, and get to the point where I want to transfer my dart. So this is the point. This is the point, right? So the next thing I'll do is to shift. This is the first point, which is A. I'll now shift this point to meet A. Once I shift it to meet A, I'll trace. I'll continue tracing because I've closed my waist dart. I'll continue to trace. This is quite easy if you understand how it's done. So I'll just continue to trace until I get to that same point. Until I get to that same point. So remember our bust dart is still there because all we transferred was only our waist dart. So I'll take this out, and then this is what you have. So transfer our waist dart to the mid neck point. If you want to be sure that this was transferred properly, let's say we close this dart and then we try to get the figure, you will definitely get the exact thing that you transferred. So this is the other one. So I'll just give the second one we're doing, the second example. This is the first that we did. This is the first. So let's do another different example. Let's say we want to transfer it to the center, to the bust level, the center front bust level. Let's say we want to transfer it there. And this is what we're transferring, right? So we're going to simply start from, I told you, the anti-clockwise manner, right? So this is the point. We need our pin. This is quite easy if you follow through. So all I just have to do is start from here, which is the first point, and then trace to where I want. I said I want to transfer it to the bust level, right? Center front bust level. So I'm tracing from one leg of the bust dart and then over. I still want to retain the waist dart, so I'm just going to put a point. I want to retain it, and then this to this point. So now I want to close. So now I'm going to close, yeah? So I'm going to close it. So I've gotten this point to meet here, and then I'll continue to trace, continue to trace, continue to trace till I get to, don't mind what I'm doing, just understand the exact thing I'm trying to show you. So I'll just put this pattern well so that I can trace the waist dart properly. Trace the waist dart properly, and I've gotten my bust point. All I just have to do right now is to retrace. Make sure that the lines are clear enough. So right now you have your waist dart, and then you have your center front bust level darts here. This particular dart that happens in the center front is always very good when you're doing a cowl neckline and dresses like that. So we've come to the end of the pivot method. If you have any question to ask, you can drop a comment below. Please like this post, follow the page, drop amazing comments. Thank you so much.